Hey guys, Ike here from IkesOutdoors.com. Here today to do a review on the Obsession Fixation 6XP. I got the bow here, and the first thing you're going to notice about this bow is how cool it looks. We're going to go over all the features of it, specs and things like that. But this is in Last Leaf Redemption, which is a color offered by Obsession, and it also has the red cams on here and the red and black strings. So we'll talk about the custom options on this thing. First thing we're going to do is run down the specs. So I just wanted to get you a good look at that camo, that color, and just the bow overall, because this is a just awesome looking bow. So the specs on this bow, as the name implies, this is a 6-inch brace height bow. This is a 358 feet per second rated IBO rating on this bow. ATA on this is 32 1/4. Draw weights are available in 40, 50, 60, 65, and 70. Draw lengths are available from 26.5 to 30, and those are available in a 1/2 inch increments. My bow is set on 27.5, and this is a draw specific cam. So this is not something where you can replace the module or rotate the module around. This is the Obsession XP cam. This has the Perfect system on here, which is your draw stop system on here. This is a 2-track binary cam system made out of an aluminum alloy. Let's talk about we covered the specs. Let's talk about the finish on this bow. Now this is, like I said, the Last Leaf Redemption, and this is one of many different color options that they have out on their website, and they have a really cool deal on their website, which I really like. When I ordered this bow, I was able to go to the website and I picked my camo pattern from the variety that they had, and they just have a ton of cool camo. And I picked my camo pattern out, I picked the color of my cams out, I picked the color of my strings out, and all of those are fully customizable. You can get all kinds of different combinations on the cams. I believe they're available in black, orange, and red. Tons of different string colors, tons of different riser colors. But what I did was I was actually able to customize this bow on their website, and I saved it, downloaded it, and then I actually sent that in to where I was ordering it from, and sent them all the information and specs right there. So everything I was able to do on the website, I was able to download. You can print it off, or you can attach it to an email, or however you're doing it. So that's a really cool feature, is to be able to customize this exactly how you want it, and be able to print those specs, download those specs, and take those directly to your dealer. So that's the specs on this bow. One other thing I forgot to mention, this has 80% let off on this cam, and you can adjust that with this Perfect system. You can move this in and out on there. This has the new XP riser on this, and this riser not only looks cool, but it's also quite a bit stiffer on here. You can see what they've done is it still has that same design to it that it had before, but they put these bridges in here. So now you have these bridge patterns in here to make this riser quite a bit stiffer. It has Accion limb dampeners on here on the top and the bottom. We have Accion limb dampeners, which are really cool, and this bow is dead quiet. So those are really nice. This has an anti-torque angled cable rod on here. This is advertised to increase speed. It's advertised to smooth the draw out and reduce camling. Now this bow does have some camling on it at full draw, but it's not real bad, especially for a 2-track binary cam. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of camling on here. This has a rear-mounted stabilizer on here, so if you're one of those guys who likes to use a rear-mount stabilizer, you can put your stabilizer right here. This has the torqueless grip on here, which we're going to talk about this grip a little bit later when we get to doing some shooting. This has the torqueless grip on here, which is basically you're shooting right off the riser. Has the side plates on here, black, kind of I don't know what kind of wood that is, but really cool looking side plates on here. So that's the torqueless grip. Now it also has the XP limb pocket system. This is a 6-piece limb pocket system. It's got a 3/8 stainless steel rod in there to allow this thing to be as stiff as possible, because this actually is right at the pivot point. So that's a really nice design too. Again, this is designed to reduce your camling and your limb torque. So it's a nice, really cool, well thought out limb pocket design. Like I said, it's a 6-piece limb pocket design. There's a lot that goes into this limb pocket to try to reduce that limb torque and your camling. This has America's Best bowstrings on here. Cool looking bowstrings. I did have some stretch on these strings. My peep sight, which is now straight, I actually had to take it out. I had so much string stretch that it started out straight, and actually turned all the way around. I got about half a rotation on these strings, and had to take that, all I had to do is take that peep sight out, flip it around the other direction, and reserve it in. But I did get some significant string stretch in these, and it was gone within about 40 shots. Probably the cam lean was gone. So let's take this bow over now. We'll take it over to our chronograph, and we'll shoot a little bit through the chronograph. We'll show you the draw force curve on this bow, and we'll also take it out in the driveway, and we'll do a little bit of shooting with this thing. This is a speed test on the Obsession Fixation 6XP. This bow is set at 70 pounds, 27.5-inch draw length, and it has a D-loop and a peep sight on the string. We're going to be shooting 3 different arrows. Our first one here is our lightest arrow, and this one weighs 354 grains. Our next arrow here is 456 grains. Last arrow is our heavyweight arrow, and this one weighs 511 grains. Okay, so you saw the draw force curve that we put up there. This is about what I expect out of a speed bow. It hits full 70 pounds, it hits the full draw weight at about 11 inches, and it holds that draw weight for another 10 or 11 inches, and then drops off in the last 4 to 5. That's pretty typical of a speed bow like this one. So you can have a pretty steady buildup, you're going to flatten out on the top, and then you're going to dump right off in the end. When it's all said and done, you know, this is set up with the factory, so I haven't done anything to this draw stop, so that's what the factory set up on a draw stop. You're holding 11 pounds, so get it over that hump is fairly easy. I'm not having a hard time getting it over that hump, and we'll see here when I shoot this thing. And this payoff is the speeds. This bow is IBO rated for 353, I believe is what it is. And with my setup, I was getting 312 on a 355 grain arrow. And if you do the math on that, that puts this bow, if it were a 30-inch draw, that would put this bow at about 347 feet per second. So we're about 5 to 6 feet per second slow from the IBO rating. And if I was to sit there and shoot this through the chronograph all day long, I could probably get it up to that 353 pretty easy. So the speeds are pretty dang close to what they advertise this at. Now, I also did some kinetic energy calculations on this thing, and with that 355 grain arrow, this is putting out 76 foot-pounds of kinetic energy. With the 450 something grain arrow, it's putting out 277, which puts me at 77 foot-pounds of kinetic energy. And then with that last arrow, that 511 grain arrow, we're getting 79 foot-pounds per second. That's all just huge game ready for that kind of kinetic energy. That is the calculations that I use. It has a chart on there that shows you what that's eligible for. You could go hunt a moose with any one of those setups. Ideally, you'd want to do it with that big heavy arrow, but an elk or anything, mule deer or anything like that, this kinetic energy that this bow is putting out set up just like it is outstanding. That is fantastic kinetic energy and speeds out of this bow. Now, there is something that I want to talk to you guys about, and you probably won't notice it on this shoot because I'm only shooting 5 arrows, but I've shot this bow about 125 times in the process of testing it. And in that amount of time, I've noticed that I'm getting a little bit of arm slack. And what it is because this bow is such a short brace height bow, when I set my arm out there, the string's coming forward and it's hitting me right above where my tattoo is there. It says Ike, it's hitting me right in here. So I'm not really changing my grip or doing anything like that. It's not enough for me to even leave a mark. I shot this thing I shot it about 50 times yesterday, and you can see there's not even a mark or a bruise or anything like that left on my forearms. So it's not enough for me to really be concerned about it. Now, the 6-inch brace height is putting out those amazing speeds. I'm also getting really good accuracy out of this thing. I'll put up 2 pictures here. These pictures are from 20 yards, and I'm putting up a good enough group that all my arrows are touching. There's one arrow that's not touching in one of the pictures, and that's because I was just slapping arrows together, and I pulled it off a little low and right to keep from slapping arrows. So really good speeds, and it's amazingly accurate for a 6-inch brace height bow. But I am getting a little bit of arm slap on that, and if it gets me here and turns my arm red, I'll bring it up to the camera and show you guys you know, how it's hitting me and where it's hitting me. Draw cycle on this bow, the grip is really comfortable, even though it's, you know, I'm getting a little bit of arm slap out of this thing. The grip is really comfortable on that riser. Like I said, draw cycle on this bow. See it building up, hits that peak, and then get over the top of it. Now I'm not going to draw that slow all the time. Cam lean, it's got a lot of cam lean on it, like you'd expect out of a 2-track binary cam system. Now, back here at the back, solid back wall, absolutely as solid as can be. And you can see here, it doesn't want to take off on me. I'm going to relax a little bit. Right there, but it's completely manageable. Most speed bows are wanting to try to rip your shoulder off if you let up that much. You see there, no problem getting it back to the back. I've been holding it here for a good 30-45 seconds now. No kick to this bow, no noise, no vibration. This riser design is really stiff, promoting accuracy and absorbing that vibration. The Accion dampeners do a fantastic job. So this is a really quiet. You can see there on a normal draw, the way I normally draw it at normal speeds, no problem getting over that hump. Bow's gonna make me a liar now. It's not hitting my arm. Watch this bow when I release. Watch it. It's going to have a little bit of kick because I'm pushing and pulling with this back tension release. The bottom kicks away from me just a touch, and it's because I'm pushing and I'm putting a lot of pressure right here. But other than that, this bow is absolutely as still as can be and super quiet. The bow's always louder to the shooter's ear than it is to a person watching. And I don't hear a thing when this bow goes off. And I don't feel a thing either. That's what's amazing about it. Again, good solid back wall. I'm slapping arrows together up there. I mean, just amazingly accurate. For a 6-inch brace height bow, this thing just shoots, for me, it shoots extremely accurate. I'm really surprised at how accurate this bow is. So we're about 20 yards and I've got about a 2.5-inch group up there. So that is the Obsession Fixation 6XP. Outstanding bow. I mean, just outstanding. I did not get, I might have got a little bit of arm slappage on there, but it's just a touch. That's my one complaint about this bow. I'm getting just a touch of arm slap on there, and it's like the string's just coming forward because of that short brace height and my grip style. And it's just touching me just a little bit. But this bow overall is well designed. It's a shooter, man. It is a shooter. Great specs on this bow for a hunting bow. Great speeds on this bow for a hunting bow. Kind of bow that you can go out and get a ton of speed out of and be accurate as well. And that's the biggest thing. A lot of these bows with 6-inch brace height are you know, not as accurate as some of the 7-inch brace height bows just because of the design. I'm having zero trouble shooting this one with a 6-inch brace height, and it looks outstanding as well. So this is the Obsession Fixation 6XP. We're going to put a link to their website below so you guys can go to Obsession and check that out. Get on there and play with their customization. Go on there and just build yourself a bow and just check out all the customization that they have available, because you'll really see a bow like this is super easy to build and they look really sharp when they're all said and done. So check that out. I've also got a review coming up on a stabilizer and a quiver that I got with this bow that matched this last leaf redemption, and we'll probably talk about this rest that I got on here as well. This is a trophy taker rest. I'm not even sure what kind of rest this is. This is a Smackdown. So we'll be doing reviews on those, and I wanted to talk about real quick before you guys go too, the arrows that I'm shooting. Someone noticed that the arrows that I'm shooting are kind of messed up in one of the last videos. What I'm doing is I'm shooting some Walmart arrows, and these are the Cryptics, I think, or not Cryptics, or Kryptons or something like that. So I've been doing some comparison with some Walmart arrows. I've got 2 or 3 just really cheap Walmart arrows, and I've been shooting tar out of them just to see how tough they are and how well they fly. So check back with us on that, because I'm doing some extensive research, extensive testing with these arrows. We even took some of them on a hog hunt and shot some hogs with them. So we're doing some extensive testing with these Walmart arrows to see, you know, if you're getting your bang for the buck out of these cheap Walmart arrows. So check back with us on that. Again, go check out Obsession's website. Really, really cool bows. Shoot great, shoot lights out. So great hunting bows. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and be sure to check us out on Instagram for more information on what we're doing on a day-to-day basis. Instagram and Facebook under Ike's Outdoors. Appreciate you guys watching.